Thank you.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we're both from Philadelphia.
Okay, great.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. And Pastor, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, say it.
Pastor, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be able to really speak. My name is Lamaya Broussard.
Right.
That's Lamya. B as in boy, ROUSSARD as in dog. I am the founder and director of Coup, Coming Out More Equipped Consulting Services, where I focus on healthy lifestyle. It's 4 parts: healthy well-being, which is mental, emotional, spiritual, socially, healthy living, healthy eating, and healthy relationships. And what I'm here on faith today from Philadelphia. I have here my consultant, as well as like the brainchild over everything behind my consulting services. We've been a part of the George Floyd protest by providing Black wellness and resiliency zones in Philadelphia, where we basically are there to provide de-escalation techniques to make sure that our advocates and our people that are out there advocating for us and losing so much as a result while we gain, losing their housing, losing their jobs, losing their wellness, their mental and emotional status. I've worked directly with advocates, well-known even advocates in Philadelphia, who's suffering and because of fighting for us. And then we're looking at them and wondering why they're not striving more. And so it's so important while we out here raising our voices and we out here doing what is very human and our rights, as we said, and our First Amendment right, to make sure that we're well in the middle of it. So we provide techniques to make sure that when our heart rate is raised, that our people are able to lower through deep breathing and grounding exercises, whether it's handing out different things that appeals to the 5 senses, whether it's being able to do aromatherapy, whatever is needed to make sure that we are well, because we don't want to be dying in the process of trying to fight for justice, which is already happening. So I came on faith. When I heard you, I was laying in my bed getting ready to go to sleep, and I pulled up, I saw on my phone what was happening here, and I saw you speaking. And I am all for my sisters out here and all for the community and our LGBTQ. I love working with the community, but it's something about when you see black men that take their rightful place, because it is black men that are being killed. Don't just let it be mistaken that this is just black lives. Yes, it is black lives, but these are black men. And the darker your skin complexion, the worse it is. And so when I saw you standing in that liberation theology that you're speaking about, I'm a kingdom-minded Christian. And I understand the power of Jesus Christ being able to speak to what's happening in the country, in the community. So it is no coincidence that we're here. I told Miranda that, I said, we going down to Elizabeth. I don't know if they protesting. I don't know, but I'm coming in faith. Booked a room and came here and saw a sister standing on the corner that was out there. And she showed us, yes, Anita. And she told us where this was. And I looked at my sister and I said, you see, it's a reason that we're here. I told you God was going to provide. And so we'll be here, and we will be right here. And we will be providing this black wellness. Following her too. Yeah, and the police was following her and watching her. And so if you talk about, and as you talk about that is escalating. Yes. And anytime we are escalated as human beings, we're gonna get triggered and respond, especially when it comes to our humanity. This is our humanity. And so I said, we all have a role. This is trauma that we're going through. This is disenfranchised grief. I'm a clinician in the school systems in Philadelphia. I work with a private nonprofit. I do grief groups every day, and most of those students look like me. And most of them are males. And I work with them every day, but I do this outside and been doing Coup since 2014. And so this is disenfranchised grief. Invalidated grief by society. This is suffocated grief. Suffocated grief by Dr. Baudelaire, who she coined that term to speak about. That's not only when our grief is not invalidated, but is also penalized. So we're being arrested, we're being killed for protesting. Walter Wallace in Philadelphia died because he was having a mental health crisis. What does that tell you? Black people, especially our black men, can't even afford to have a mental health crisis. And you be killed in front of your mom, your community, your neighbors. That is what's called prolonged grief that they're going to be dealing with. This is all that we dealing with as a black people, which is worse whenever the death is sudden and violent. And that's exactly what our brother Andrew Brown Jr. went through here, being killed, when there's so many other tactics that can be used. It's so many other, shoot the tires out, whatever you got to do.
Shoot them in the foot.
Shoot them in the foot.
What about that?
If you have to do that. But those things don't happen. And whenever it's something that's continuously happening over and over again, just look at the numbers. We all about numbers and research. As the pastor said, you do not see, and I never want to see no one getting killed by police. But reality is you do not see white men lynching that's happening publicly. You don't hear about it. You don't see about it. Even as a black woman, I'm not as much as a risk as my black brother is. And so this is why I'm here. We're here. But we're here promoting the wellness. And I just want to close out. I am not a poet. I want to put this disclaimer out. But I want to just play real quick 1.5 minutes of a poem that God gave me in my spirit last year when everything was happening. And it is titled Police Brutality. Again, I am not a poet. This came directly from God, and I'm gonna just play this for you all, and then I'll close.
Brutality from the police, the ones who's supposed to protect, serve, and give us security. Badge numbers, deep thunder in our souls, from suffocation, knees on our neck and chokeholds. Hands up, don't shoot, mama, I can't breathe. Please, officer, move your knees off my neck, off my back, off my life, off my rights. Civil rights or civil unrest. One have been taken in the night with no ability to protest. Hands up, don't shoot. That's the real crime. Got black male babies singing, I just wanna live. I don't wanna die. Question, where's the laws in this American place? Oh, I see. It wasn't really for my black race. Then you're talking about loot. Shoot, the list goes on like Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Sean Brooks, etc. Just a smidgen of the new black lives they, their police, unjustifiably kill. For what? Resting in your own home, sleeping, jogging, and 20 hours? Oh my God, it just make me want to holler. God, I promise I still have hope you will shower us with justice, mercy, grace, and strength, never to be devoured.